While India is reeling under the surge in the second wave of COVID-19, there is a bit of good news this week as the cases are plateauing in several states that witnessed a massive spike in India. But sadly, that's not a lot of good news on the vaccination front yet. You're watching TV9 News and I'm Prajwal D'Souza. Few states like Karnataka and Maharashtra have stopped vaccination of people in the 18 to 44 age group. States are floating global tenders amidst a shortage of Covaxin and AstraZeneca vaccines, and the current rate of vaccination is not good enough to achieve herd immunity anywhere in the near future. Add to the mix vaccine hesitancy and we have quite a pot of issues brewing. But another important aspect is vaccine literacy. Why am I talking to you about this? Well, starting today, we will be presenting a series of episodes from today to educate Indians about the importance of vaccination. What happens if you get two different shots of vaccine? So far, India hadn't reported any such cases. Well, at least not until now. Last month, a 72-year-old man, Dattatraya Waghmare, from Jalna district in Maharashtra, was accidentally administered 2 doses from 2 different vaccines. His first shot was Covaxin and the second was Covishield. The incident came to light when his son noticed the vaccination certificates after his father fell ill. Incidentally, this happened in the home district of Maharashtra's health minister. Now I'll be telling you more on Waghmare's condition and why it is a concern a little later. But first, I will be addressing the issue and explaining why none of us should consider mixing of vaccines. Around 5.6 crore people in the 45 plus age group have received the first jab so far. There's a lot of anxiety among this population that they may lose immunity or the first dose may be redundant if they don't get the second dose soon because of the delays and slow pace of vaccination. As such people have started inquiring about the mixing of vaccines to address this issue, this is a terrible idea and we will tell you why. The debate on vaccine mixing has been brewing since vaccination kicked off in the US and Europe last year. There have been various studies conducted as well. Now, before we get into the details of what the studies say, let's quickly bring you up to date on what you need to know about the vaccines currently being used in India. We currently have 2 vaccines that have been approved by the DCGI, Covishield produced by Serum Institute of India and Covaxin, the indigenous vaccine by Bharat Biotech. Here is the main difference between these vaccines. Now, Covaxin, well, it is an inactivated vaccine, meaning it has been prepared and tried on tested platform of dead viruses which will help produce antibodies. The Covishield has been prepared using the viral vector platform, which is a completely different form of tech to combat coronavirus. So both vaccines work differently to teach the immune system to prepare a defense mechanism against the virus. For a detailed reading on this, I will attach a link by the ICMR to better understand the difference between the 2 vaccines. Recently, the gap between 2 doses of Covishield was increased from 6 to 8 weeks to 12 to 16 weeks. The gap between Covaxin, however, remains the same at 28 to 42 days. Now that we have understood this, let's bring you up to date on the condition of Waghmare. After receiving shots from 2 different vaccines, he has been suffering from minor complications. He developed a mild fever, rashes and anxiety following the second dose. But thankfully, he hasn't suffered significant health complications. But that's not to say Mr. Waghmare will develop a unique immune response or he will have a better protection from the virus. He was lucky, but this may not prove to be the case with everyone. There was a study conducted in the UK recently where Oxford, AstraZeneca and Pfizer vaccines were mixed. It was found that it led to a higher frequency of mild to moderate side effects as compared to when 2 doses of the same vaccine were administered. Remember that no such study has been conducted involving the mixing of Covaxin and Covishield vaccines in India or anywhere else in the world. So we do not know how bad the side effects could be. To discuss more on this, I am joined by Bengaluru-based pediatric pulmonologist Dr. H. Paramesh. Doctor, could you elaborate on the risks involved in mixing 2 vaccines developed with 2 different technologies?
All vaccines passed stringent guidelines have been established by the authorities. When you give the first dose, priming of the immune system does happen. When you give the second dose, it will boost up your protection level. Mixing of the vaccine never been recommended. There is no study as a matter of fact.
What would you advise people who are getting anxious over delay in the second dose?
I would say, gentlemen, please just relax. Don't get worried as a matter of fact. When you have the first dose, it gives the protection level up to 50%. Even if you delay second dose for a long period of time, the protection level will be higher. The current recommendation is between 12 to 16 weeks between the first and the second dose.
Should one start fretting if the second dose is delayed? How long does immunity from the first dose last?
Please never ever fret. You are safeguarded. As I mentioned earlier, with the first dose, your defense system is already primed. You have already 50% of protection level where you don't get 50% of the time any infection. And when I said the first priming immune system happens, later on it will respond any length of time as a matter, because we have certain lymphocytes called T lymphocytes. They're all memory cells. They remember the vaccine influence. Later on, whenever the second time it comes, they will respond, no matter what is the interval, as a matter of fact.
Doctor, what are the complications or side effects one could develop if they're administered different vaccines?
No doubt the reactions will vary from the senior citizens, elderly people and youngster. In youngster, the adverse reaction will be more to the fact they have very resilient immune system. So one can expect a local reaction, the swelling, pain and discomfort and redness, and general reaction like a fever, headache, body ache, tiredness and feeling giddy. All these things will be there as a matter of fact. In addition to that, people who have some kind of allergy, food allergy, rarely can experience the anaphylactic reaction. Sudden death can able to happen, very rarely. But however, they have to take this dose at the hospital atmosphere and also while keeping the emergency drug adrenaline ready in their hand. I don't think anything to worry. All this reaction will be temporary. I think we will overcome as a matter.
So to sum up, please do not think about or indulge in vaccine mixing. The government of India has asked states to prioritize people who need to get their second dose over those getting the first dose, and more vaccine doses are being made available daily. So do not fret and get anxious over rumors. If you like this video, do click on the like button and don't forget to subscribe to TV9 News on all the social media platforms. Thank you for watching and stay safe.